I think we're going to get started. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marianela Franklin. I am the Chief Sustainability Officer here at Utrgv, and today we're here to celebrate and recognize a group of incredible students who started on a project last semester with us, and we're just really excited to share all the wonderful work that they've been doing throughout last semester and this semester. And that is a group of students that formed a club called the Ambassadors for Sustainability. They are from our Mathematics and Science Academy. The Utrgv Mathematics and Science Academy is a program, a recent program that Utrgv established where high school students are dually enrolled with credits, with course credits at the university. We're really excited to share this program with you. The Ambassadors for Sustainability have been working really hard all semester. They started this program last semester. So welcome and thank you all for joining us this afternoon. I know it's Friday, it's the end of the week. I'm sure you all want to start the weekend already, but we have something to share with you that I hope will be inspirational to you. And we're going to move forward with sharing the agenda. It is a very quick and simple agenda. I will be providing you an introduction and sharing with you also a little bit about the core competency of sustainability since this project involves sustainability. We will then share presentations from the students. These are pre-recorded presentations. Immediately after the presentations, we will open up your microphones for Q&A or for comments. They don't have to all be questions, they can be comments. We do ask that you post your questions on the Q&A box if we happen not to have enough time for you to ask your questions. And also to please use the raising of the hand in case you need to say something, which is, you can find that under your participants tab. You can see there's several icons, and one of those, there's a hand. Immediately afterwards, we'll go to our closing remarks so that we can conclude the session. So with that said, my name again is Marianela Franklin, and also with us is Miss Melissa Peña. Melissa Peña is the director who leads the students over at the Mathematics and Science Academy. And so she will be joining us in sharing some information as well. Before we get started with the program itself, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the university strategic plan. The university has made a commitment to sustainable development because they understand that education for sustainable development is a critical tool for success. And the core priority of this strategic plan, after all, is student success. So you can see in the graphic next to the mission statement that there are several tools that are considered tools for achieving student success, and one of those is sustainability. All of this is aligned with the United Nations 17 Goals for Sustainable Development. So if you're not familiar with these 17 goals, we invite you to please check out unsdg.org, where you can learn all about these sustainable development goals. You can pick the goal that you may be most intrigued by or most passionate in, so that you can learn about the targets to achieve these goals. But these goals form a very strong component of this project, and you'll see here in a few minutes. I also wanted to share with you that sustainability is a problem-solving approach. I know for many, sustainability is a confusing word, and many believe sustainability to be about saving the planet, which in part it is, but that is not the definition of sustainability. So we view sustainability as a problem-solving approach that revolves around systems thinking. Systems thinking because we live in a world of three systems. We live in a world that has an environmental system, which is our planet and our natural resources, a social system, which is we the people and all of humanity, and an economic system that revolves around profit, but not greedy profit. It's profit that protects people and protects the planet. We also call this the triple bottom line: protecting people, planet, and profit. It seems to be easier to remember that way. And the reason we like to represent it with this three-legged stool is because this problem-solving approach is an approach that, again, revolves around protecting all three of these systems. So if you were to remove one of the systems, one of the legs, the quality, the support just falls apart. So sustainability is about making sure that we're thinking continuously about these three systems to protect these three systems all at the same time as we move forward in solving problems or creating solutions. I wanted to share this slide with you because it's something, I know it's very lengthy, but it won't take me very much time to explain. The core competency of sustainability, as I said, is systems thinking, is thinking about those three systems, but it's also about values and thinking of values, strategic thinking, futures thinking, because you need to think into the future to make sure that the problem you're solving does not fall apart in the future, that it's something that will sustain its quality, and design thinking because it involves a village. It's not intended for you to do alone, for one person to do this. It involves bringing everybody to the table. So as you're designing a solution to something, that you're designing it with people and not just for people. If you're designing it with the individuals that are having the problem, you're more likely to come up with a better solution. So those are the core competencies of sustainability. But I also want to share with you some of the skills and knowledge gained, specifically when we incorporate sustainability into projects, into programs, into curriculum, into research. It provides leadership, it provides community service and support, business development, confidence building, data-informed and effective solutions, civic engagement, public speaking, time management, building partnerships, enhanced globalization, applied academic knowledge, advocacy, expanding relationships and networking, better understanding and conflict resolution, cross-cultural understanding, presenting, report writing, and last but not least, creating change agents for sustainable development. These skills are very important skills for job placement, and this is why we've used sustainability as a tool for success. So this project that the students came up with is very special because when they came to the Office for Sustainability asking to see what kind of a project they could possibly work on, we were in the middle of COVID-19. So we had to think things through and figure out how can we take advantage of the fact that we're right now in a situation where we can't get out there and actually get to meet and talk to people and work, and put our hands in the dirt to work with the community. So they decided, they wanted to map out the sustainable development goals for the Rio Grande Valley. And the reason for that is that as we had conversations with them, we talked about the fact that sustainability already exists here in the Rio Grande Valley. And there are solutions that are happening and are very successful here. And they said, well, why don't we share all that information? Why don't we get together and put all that information together? And I said, well, it needs to be structured. And they said, well, let's structure it around the 17 goals for sustainable development. And I said, that's brilliant. Let's do it. So last semester, they began by forming a club, which is called the Mathematics and Science Academy Ambassadors for Sustainability. They chose 5 or 6 goals and they broke up into teams and they did their research and they presented last semester. So this is a map without anything on it at the moment, but I will tell you that by next semester, when they have concluded their research for all 17 goals, there will be an interactive map on our website that will allow anyone and everyone to actually take a look at the Rio Grande Valley and take a look at what sustainability means in the Rio Grande Valley, what it looks like, where they can go, who they can connect with. And so I'm very, very proud of the students. And I want to say that their work is already having quite a bit of impact. So for those of you who were not with us for Earth Fest, our virtual Earth Fest for 2021, last week, those students who had already presented last semester, some of their work was showcased. So on Tuesday, we had Amrit Bhakta and, excuse me for a second, I need to move my cursor because your photos are covering up some of my slides. So Amrit Bhakta and Michael de los Santos were able to basically we were able to share their pre-recorded presentation on goal number 15, which is life on land. And so on that Tuesday, everyone was able to see what goal number 15 actually looks like here in the Rio Grande Valley. So Amrit and Michael were able to provide their research and their information on all the agencies and nonprofit organizations that contribute to protecting our life on land, which is goal number 15. The next group of students were Delani Sanchez and Seema Shaheen. They both also worked on goal number 14 last semester, which was life below water. So this particular video presentation of theirs, their research was showcased on Wednesday. And then on Friday, Mike Pañuelos and Thomas Sines, who worked on goal number 7 last semester, we were able to showcase their work on affordable and clean energy. So again, our students are already having an incredible impact within our own region, and their information is being shared not just within our region, but also, within the state of Texas. We did have several Texas state institutions who were on the Zoom, on our Zoom seminar series that we had all week for Virtual Earth Fest. So with that, I want to share with you this semester's work. And again, you're going to get to hear from all the students. This is pre-recorded, so I'm going to ask you to wait until we finish with all the recording so that you can have the opportunity to actually ask questions or provide some comments. So with that, I will get started with, I want to introduce you to Michaela Salinas, Daniela Salinas de Alba, and Adolfo Valderas. They chose to work on Sustainable Development Goal number 1, which is no poverty. So at this time, I'm going to ask Davey if he could help us out in sharing their pre-recorded presentation so you can see all the information that they put together for us.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for being here today.
Today we're going to be presenting goal number 1, which is no poverty.
Davey, can you put the volume up a little bit? Thank you.
And my name is Michaela Salinas.
So there are 7 targets within goal number 1. This includes eradicating extreme poverty for all people everywhere, which is currently measured as people living on less than $1.25 a day. Reduce at least by half the proportion of men, women, and children of all ages living in poverty, and implementing nationally appropriate social protection systems and measures for all. The other targets ensure that all men and women, in particular the poor and the vulnerable, have equal rights to ownership, basic services, technology, and economic resources. It also centers on building the resilience of the poor and those in vulnerable situations and reducing their exposure and vulnerability to environmental, economic, and social disasters. It ensures significant mobilization of resources from a variety of sources in order to provide adequate and predictable means for developing countries, and creating sound policy frameworks at the national, regional, and international levels based on pro-poor and gender-sensitive development strategies to support accelerated investment in poverty eradication. The first organization is the Salvation Army. It was founded in 1865, and it is a faith-based charity which strives to meet human need by providing clothing, furniture, toys, school supplies, groceries, and more to people in need. The Salvation Army has provided McAllen residents with 66,541 hot meals through their soup kitchen, 13,821 nights of lodging, and they have helped over 114 families through their rent assistance program. According to their website, 81 cents of every dollar they receive is directly allocated to services that assist people in need, and 100% of every dollar donated for disaster relief goes to help survivors and first responders. They have 2 locations in the RGV, in McAllen and in Harlingen. The next organization is the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency. It strives to provide services to low-income people by means of partnership and direct funding in order to promote self-sufficiency. They accomplish this through several different programs within their organization, all of which center around low-income civilians of Hidalgo County. They provide utility assistance, family support services, electric utility assistance to veterans, and COVID-19 assistance, as well as outreach programs to impoverished youth. Their office is located in Edinburgh. The next organization is the Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid, or TRLA. It was founded in 1970 and has become the largest legal aid provider in Texas. It is a nonprofit organization that provides free legal help to low-income families and migrants. It assists low-income people in civil legal problems with their practices encompassing community preservation and empowerment, economic and social justice, disaster assistance, domestic violence and family law, housing, individual rights, labor and employment, public benefits, and victim rights. In Starry County, they also have the additional practice area of the Public Defender Program available. TRLA also has several programs to serve low-income and vulnerable communities with their legal needs. These programs are the Victims' Rights Programs, Medical Legal Partnerships, Community Building with Attorney Resources, and the Texas Foster Youth Justice Project. It has over 5 locations in the RGV, spanning over 3 counties, which are Hidalgo, Starr, and Cameron. Their offices are located in Mercedes, Edinburgh, Harlingen, Brownsville, and Rio Grande City. The next organization or program is the Community Development Block Program, which is a program within the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. It provides grants to states and localities to provide decent housing and a suitable living environment, and to expand economic opportunities for low and moderate income persons. This organization offers over 11 programs, which involve public service activities, public improvement of facilities, activities to assist people in acquiring property, disaster recovery, and construction of public housing for impoverished people. They have over 6 locations in the Rio Grande Valley. In 2019, in Brownsville, the CPDG assisted 698 people in public services and 468,897 people in public improvements. In Edinburgh, over 135,175 people benefited from the CPDG's assistance. Their offices are located in Brownsville, Edinburgh, Harlingen, McAllen, Mission, and Farr.
So the Home Investment Partnerships Program provides assistance to low-income people. This program helps build, buy, and/or rehabilitate affordable houses for rent or homeownership. Home aims to create affordable housing for impoverished people here in the Rio Grande Valley. And we found 3 offices, one in Brownsville, one in Harlingen, and one in McAllen. And these are the addresses and phone numbers, contact info. Another program that we found was the Emergency Solutions Grant Program. And what they do here is basically try to prevent homelessness. They do this by opening up emergency shelters that help low-income people transition and regain stability in permanent housing. They have an office in Brownsville and McAllen. Situated in Harlingen and McAllen, Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit Christian faith housing organization that helps low-income people in the Rio Grande Valley by building homes and educating the family on budgeting. Habitat homeowner partners, they work side by side with volunteers and take classes to become financially independent in order to break out of the poverty cycle. And Habitat for Humanity seeks to foster hope and opportunities in communities, and they have helped hundreds of people here in the Rio Grande Valley. Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley is a nonprofit Christian organization that has a variety of programs that help those in need of assistance. Many of its projects assist the poor and the vulnerable population in our community. Its offices are located in San Juan and in Brownsville. It has 8 programs, and they help immigrants, homeless people, and those who are in need of disaster relief. Loaves and Fishes of the Rio Grande Valley has programs that provide food, temporary housing, and medical assistance to poverty-stricken individuals in the Rio Grande Valley. They do not discriminate and accept the needy with open arms. Their office is in Harlingen, and they help those in need or who are in the poverty cycle. Come Dream, Come Build is a nonprofit community housing development program, uh, and this organization focuses its efforts on providing safe, sanitary, and affordable housing to people in South Texas. It uses its partnerships to sustain these houses and allow impoverished people or the low-income people here in the Rio Grande Valley a way to step out of it and improve their life.
So the next organization is Proyecto Azteca, which is a nonprofit or construction company located in San Juan, Texas, and they strive to serve the low-income and colonia families throughout the Hidalgo County. What began by the United Frameworks of America, Texas Rural Legal Aid, and the Texas Low Income Housing Information Services became a nationally recognizable organization that is community-directed self-housing organizations that have helped close to 1,000 families in the construction portion of housing in over 150 colonia and rural areas. Through providing equal housing opportunities with no form of discrimination, families of low income social services and size are provided a startup and the help that they may need in the process of home building. Head Start is a federal program that encourages the school and education preparedness for children from birth to the age of around 5 of low-income families. Head Start hopes to ready the children through cohesive social and emotional development. Additionally to child education, Head Start provides health, nutrition, and parent involvement services to those of the low-income families. The main mission goal of the program is to father better and create better family relationships, enhance children's well-being, both physically and mentally, and create a happy and supportive environment for the children to learn and grow.
In this slide, we see pictures of children from the Head Start Facebook page.
Lupe, founded by labor right activists Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, is an organization that strives to build stronger, healthier communities that hold the responsibility and obligation to organize themselves. Lupe developed as it was seen that workers held outside of the organization working environment had many problems of their own. Lupus solves and overcome the social and economic needs of the low-income daily lives, invests the Help Self programs to develop and enable the capability of low-income families, transform the social and economic needs and human capacity and advocacy, and to build a cohesive community that brings all of their beliefs together. The United Way of South Texas is a volunteer-run nonprofit organization that funds health, education, and financial sustainability-related programs. Through its partnership with agencies such as Children's Advocacy Center Comfort House, Women Children Together, Silver Ribbon, and the Boys and Girls Club, the United Way of South Texas continues to impact the lives of over 225,000 residents in the Hidalgo and Starry County. The Brownsville Literary Center, also known as BLC, is a private nonprofit adult and family literacy provider established in 1986 in response to the profound unmet literacy needs in the Brownsville community. The center is funded by private, charitable, and corporate donations. The United Way of Southern Cameron County, a community development grant, CB DG, and the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. The literacy program has developed a classroom program which is designed to give students a solid foundation in its communicative functional English parents to adults. In 1999, the center introduced family literacy programs which allow the parents and their children to learn together. This approach enables to adults to develop their English literacy skills and the children to begin pre-reading the language skills. In each of the corresponding slides, we have provided websites, email links, locations, phone number, and a brief description for each organization.
Our next presentation was Sustainable Development Goal number 3 for good health and well-being with Thomas Science. Unfortunately, we were unable to get his video to work, so we hope to be sharing this Sustainable Development Goal next semester. So we're going to move forward with our very next Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which is gender equality. So I want to introduce you to Ms. Ana Ledesma and Julia Zoe. They have put together a wonderful presentation for us on the research they did this semester regarding Sustainable Development Goal number 5. So Davy, if you can please share that with us, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Ana Ledesma.
And I'm Julia Zoe. And this is our presentation for the Sustainable Development Goal 5, which is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls.
Our mission statement is the goal of 5 of the 17 goals of sustainable development focuses on gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. Goal 5 aimed for the future progress of women's participation and equal opportunities in positions of leadership, the elimination of discrimination of women and girls, the elimination of violence against women and girls, the availability of reproductive resources, and the advancement of the right of women.
So the first organization is called Women's Business Center in the RGV. And this center was founded in 2016. It is a nonprofit organization, and the purpose of this program is to provide services to help promote, advance, and inspire the businesses of women. Some examples of services provided by this program include free one-on-one counseling, workshops, and small business boot camps. And next would be the South Texas Empowerment of Women Center. The center is founded in 2010. It is also nonprofit, and the purpose of this organization is to provide shelter and a voice for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. The organization on this slide is called Friendship of Women. And this organization seeks to provide services for the health and safety of adults and children experiencing sexual violence. This organization also seeks to end violence against all men, women, and children in the communities of Cameron County. And the next organization is called Mujeres Universe. And Mujeres Universe is a nonprofit organization service that offers emergency shelter, counseling, advocacy, and support groups for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. In the year 2002, Mujeres Universe created a transitional housing program called Nueva Vida, and the purpose of this program is to assist women in leaving abusive relationships safely and also helping families with independence and enrollment in education. And this organization also offers many other services.
This organization is Girls Start. It's a nonprofit organization that was actually founded in Austin, Texas in 2017. It's a program to increase girls' interest and engagement in STEM through education programs. They offer the programs here in the Valley in some of the McAllen and Mission ISD schools. They offer them at the Sam Houston School, the Victor Fields, Woodrow Wilson, and Pearson. It also offers summer camps and vlogs online for girls that aren't able to reach them in their hometowns or anywhere near them. The Organization of Women Executive is an organization founded here in the Valley. They get together every month for monthly luncheons in McAllen. They do have a fee. They do have a fee to join, and for the luncheons, it is a $75 fee to become a member, and a $25 fee for the monthly luncheons. It's an organization that helps increase the business and professional status of its members. They offer workshops and information of skills for women to improve their business. They also offer them connections to other small businesses in the organization so their business can continue growing.
The next organization is called the Pregnancy Resource Centers, and this organization has many available centers, and there are available centers in the RGV. And this organization offers resources for pregnancy and also services for victims of sexual assault, and their services are completely free and confidential. And there's also a center available in Mission, Texas. The next organization is called the Hispanic Women's Network of Texas, also abbreviated as HWNT. And this is an organization that is established in 1986. The purpose of this organization is to offer services that take great importance in women's educational, professional, and personal development. The Hispanic Women's Network of Texas has an education series called Latinas in Progress, which collaborates with universities and colleges throughout Texas. Latinas in Progress prepares high school graduates for university and also assists with the transition into university life. Graduates of the program Latinas in Progress are also given access to many scholarships provided by grants, university, and Hispanic Women's Network of Texas members. And in addition, there are also 8 chapters throughout the state of Texas, and there's also including cities such as San Antonio and Houston and Corpus Christi, and there is a chapter located in the RGV, that will be the city McAllen, Texas. And here would be the organizations presented in the slides mapped out, and it goes throughout the RGV. And here are the names of the organizations, their contact information, their address, and the website link. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna and Julia. We really appreciate you putting all this information together. I did see a couple of organizations I was not familiar with. And as I mentioned before, to our audience, to our participants and our attendees, if they have additional resources, which I'm sure some of them may have, to please make sure to share those with us, make sure to share them with us so that we can expand the mapping of all these wonderful nonprofit organizations, agencies, corporations, businesses that, again, are providing resources to achieve these 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you, ladies. So our next presenter, our next team is for goal number 8, which is decent work and economic growth. And I'd like to introduce you to Brian Liu, Anaí Davila, and Ryan Lawler. And if you could please, David, present or share the presentation, the video presentation, so that we can see all the information they had the opportunity to put together this semester. Thank you.
SDG, Decent Work and Economic Growth, goal number 8. I am Ryan Lawler, along with Brandon Louie and Anaí Davila. Our goals are to promote continuous, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, ensure full and productive employment and decent work for all. It is important to us to increase employment opportunities which provide a livable income for our citizens. Our goal is to map out small and medium-sized enterprises in the Rio Grande Valley that promote economic growth. The Chambers of Commerce. The Chambers of Commerce is a Rio Grande Valley based public organization focused on enhancing the local economy and community. It is a coalition committed to building a healthy economy and improving the quality of life within their local communities. Together, with their many partners, they provide leadership to advance a prosperous economy that enhances the quality of life of their communities. These include McAllen, Brownsville, and Weslaco, to name a few. The Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. The BCIC is seeking to partner with for-profit and nonprofit organizations, along with corporations that seek creative approaches to advance economic prosperity in Brownsville, Texas. They are looking to invest in small business development, retail development, entrepreneurship, and job creation projects. McAllen Means Business. McAllen Means Business is an organization that promotes the business opportunities of McAllen, Texas to encourage companies to move or start there. They present market research, city rankings, and facts about the city to accomplish their goals. These can be found on the website below. Adopt a Startup at Utrgv. Utrgv students adopt startups and support entrepreneurs in the development of a business plan using the business model canvas. Working in teams, students learn how to develop and test ideas by gathering massive amounts of customer and marketplace information. This helps them find unmet customer needs to establish a suitable business model and value proposition. This is currently servicing Hidalgo and Willacy counties. RGV Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. The mission of the RGV Hispanic Chamber is to promote economic development and assist businesses to access the Hispanic market through networking, promoting education, and nurturing leadership. They are focusing on small business development, entrepreneurship, learning opportunities, and mentor programs to advance the Hispanic economy. The City of Raymondville Economic Development Corporation. The Raymondville Economic Development Corporation aims to help existing businesses remain successful, foster local entrepreneurship, and to recruit new industry and businesses. It is currently servicing Willacy County and aims to open soon. RGV Partnership. RGV Partnership is a member-driven organization that advocates for the Rio Grande Valley in areas relating to water, transportation, healthcare, and education, among other things. They also support economic development for the interest of our local economic development partners.
Development councils. The Economic Development Administration was made to ensure the public are employed, retain their jobs, and stimulate industrial and commercial growth. Every city in the RGV has one main goal in common: drive economic growth, innovation, creativity, and increase economic opportunity. U.S. Small Business Administration. They help small business owners and entrepreneurs all over the Rio Grande Valley to work together simultaneously to retain economic growth. They offer free business counseling, grants and loans to start up businesses, and even find investors for small businesses that will make both debt and equity investments. SEED, Center for Education and Economic Development. The Center for Education and Economic Development is a dynamic co-working facility managed by Mission EDC. CREED's goal is to help create an entrepreneurial, science, technology, engineering, art, and math ecosystem which will lead to more sustainable businesses and a 21st century ready workforce in the city of Mission. They provide all the back office support to running business, flexible workspace from private offices to lounge areas, and will provide access to an array of professional development programs and social events in which they can connect with other local businesses and learn a thing or two from each other. The Better Business Bureau of South Texas is a nonprofit organization that speaks to small and middle-sized businesses to essentially aid them to better understand how they can economically grow. They have the BBB Education Foundation, which uniforms and informs other people, educates and advocates on behalf of consumer and helps combat unethical business practices and provides protection from fraudulent schemes. In short, the BBB of South Texas proves an ethical marketplace where buyers and sellers trust each other. Rio Grande City Economic Development Corporation. Their mission is to seek out new economic opportunities and encourage investments that will increase employment in the city. They provide their customers with outstanding resources such as business education workshops, business site selections, and Utrgv Procurement Technical Assistance Center. Starry County Industrial Foundation is a nonprofit organization supported by local government and business leaders that are committed to further develop and diversify the local economy through economic growth. The Starry County Industrial Foundation provides strategic economic plans, local and state incentives, and even workforce training if needed. Main Street Brownsville. The Texas Main Street Program is an economic development program that utilizes the Main Street 4-point approach, a multifaceted strategy that focuses on 4 comprehensive areas of development: organization, promotion, design, and economic utility. Now Brandon will inform about another organization that promotes economic growth.
Okay, so the Utrgv Center for Innovation and Commercialization, it promotes economic growth through the use of through the service of a business incubator. And that includes uses of a conference room, an office space, high-speed internet, and a PO box. The Valley Initiative for Development and Advancement is an organization that strives to address employers' needs for skilled workers and link the area's unemployed and underemployed with high-skilled, high-wage jobs in the region. So what they do basically is they help with economic mobility, which is the movement of economic status usually from poverty to wealthy or conditions. And the demographics of the people that they serve are listed here. So 100% of them are economically disadvantaged. 98% of them are unemployed, low income, or in public assistance. 60% are between the ages of 25 and 50. 67% are female. 33% are single parents, and 43% have 2 or more dependent children in their household. So according to the 2020 Economic Impact Report by the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley, every $1 invested in VITA's efforts brings about a $14.74 return on the communities it serves. Now we have the Utrgv Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center, which goal is to assist entities and entrepreneurs to develop and expand their venture through education. And they do this through hosting Spark events, which are open meetings for entrepreneurs to gain knowledge and skills for their business, such as business basics, e-commerce, basic marketing and accounting. Those are some things that they go over on those Spark events. In addition to these, they also have the incubation programs. So for example, Global Launchpad would be one of them. Next, we have the McAllen Chamber of Commerce Creative Incubator, which is a venue that offers creative artists a way to express that creativity. And in addition to this venue, they also have a facility called Tech Space, where tech startups, app developers, software developers, and more can connect with each other and work together. Then we have the Utrgv Office of Technology Commercialization, which assists faculty, staff, and students with transitioning their ideas into a reality. Some of the responsibilities are to ensure compliance and data reporting for research, providing training for faculty, students, and community related to intellectual property policy and processes, processing of agreements for potential licenses, audit of licenses and royalty compliance, assist in the creation of startups, of course, and lastly, outreach and partnership development. Then we have the workforce solutions in the Cameron, Hidalgo, Starr, and Willacy counties. They all strive to educate, employ, and empower their respective communities. So that means they help with job search, childcare while job search is happening, and much more. The UTRGV Small Business Development Center goals is to assist entities and entrepreneurs to develop and expand their venture through education. And they host events dealing with basic marketing and accounting and e-commerce. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, Anaí, and Ryan. I think you did put together a very good comprehensive report. I see that you included most of the UTRGV components. I do know that we have in our audience some faculty and students from the College of Business. So I hope that if they have any other resources to add, that they will share those with us so that we can make sure to add to your work. Thank you again. You did an incredible job. Next, we have goal number 12, which is responsible consumption and production. And we're going to hear from Mike Pañuelos. He is working full-time. He is working part-time at the Office for Sustainability and is a full-time student. So he chose to do his project alone without a team member because of his competing schedule. So we will hear his presentation next, and then we have another final presentation. We're going to go a little faster now to make sure that we are on time, and I apologize for all the interruptions. But let's hear from Mike Pañuelos, goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. Thank you, Davey.
Hello, thank you all for being here today. My name is Mike Pañuelos, and I will be presenting the Rio Grande Valley's efforts in sustainable production and consumption. Mission statement. With the problem of world hunger, depletion of renewable resources, and the inefficient use of fossil fuels, our consumption and production patterns have never mattered more. Goal number 12 of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Goals helps to ensure that by 2030, we can achieve sustainable management and efficient use of natural resources and other resources. This presentation highlights the different companies and businesses within the Rio Grande Valley that are working towards achieving goal number 12. We'll start off with sustainable production of agriculture and livestock. Organic in the valley. There are many organic farms scattered throughout the valley, and mostly all of the farms on this list are organic certified. Some of the produce organically made in the valley include vegetables such as beets, carrots, cilantro, kale, turnips, and tomatoes, and fruits such as grapes, grapefruit, limes, oranges, watermelons, and even organic pecans. Livestock in the valley. Next, we look at the organically raised livestock within the valley. Some of these are grass-fed beef, organic fed poultry and goats, free-range eggs, organic quail and eggs, organic pasture-raised poultry, and even organically fed Kuniki pigs. Now we move on to everybody's favorite, recycling. There are many traditional recycling centers located throughout the valley that accepts paper, plastic, aluminum, steel, motor oil, lead acid batteries, magazines, books, glass, newspapers, cardboard, paint, and even bulky items such as furniture, carpets, bulk toys, wood, tires, and appliances. We also have recycling centers that properly dispose and recycle electronics such as cables, circuit boards, computers, laptops, telephones, and monitors. The awesome part is that many of these services are offered for free by the centers. The traditional paper, plastic, and cardboard recycling centers and the electronic recycling centers help reduce waste in a sustainable way. The UN has reported that electronic waste has grown by 38% and that only 20% is recycled. So the Valley is doing its part in providing these services for its people. Food waste management. I would like to begin by highlighting some of UTRGV's efforts and its partnership with Sodexo in providing sustainable dining and, in effect, reducing food waste. To begin, UTRGV has a campus garden in which its produce is sold during UTRGV's farmers market, and whatever is left over is stored in the food pantry for students to pick up for free. In addition to this, UTRGV also offers many vegetarian and vegan options, and vegetarian and vegan simply to go prepackaged meals in compostable material rather than styrofoam for those that have certain diets within some of the food venues within the campus and in the dining hall. On this note, UTRGV's dining hall has modified its menu and portions to reduce post-consumer food waste, became styrofoam free, and has implemented a trayless form of dining with the substitution of the reusable eco takeout, plastic to-go containers. Students and faculty are incentivized to use reusable containers by being discounted 50 cents for serving their coffee in reusable mugs or soda in reusable branded tumblers. Additionally, UTRGV serves a espresso coffee by Sodexo in the dining center. It is fair trade and sustainable coffee and sugar with recycled cups, sustainable bamboo stirrers, and minimal waste packaging. UTRGV also donates food that otherwise would go to waste free to its students. Lastly, UTRGV supports learning and research about sustainable food systems, such as UTRGV Center for Sustainable Agriculture and Rural Advancement, also known as SARA. Next, we move forward to the McAllen Composting Center. The McAllen Composting Facility sits on a 60-acre site, making organic compost out of grinded brush and disposed citrus. The facility reduces food waste by accepting donations of disposed citrus from Walmart and H-E-B stores nearby in McAllen. The revenues generated by the sale of their 40-pound bags of compost and mulch pay for the operation of the city facility. In addition to this, an immense amount of waste does not end up at a city landfill due to the facility's recycling. Ultimately, the facility reduces their carbon footprint while also saving the city around $500,000 in landfill costs. Although many companies, farms, businesses, and a school were discussed within this presentation that all contribute to achieving Goal 12 of sustainable production and consumption, there are many more in the Valley that have yet to be found. A category that I wanted to mention but was not able to look more into due to my busy schedule is sustainable manufacturing. We know that the residents of the Valley are clever and are able to make anything out of anything sustainably, whether it be clothing, jewelry, consumable items, candles, and etc. And it is with this mindset that we can have confidence in moving forward with the progression of a more sustainable city that already has a sustainable school that creates sustainable students who bring it back to the core of their foundation, leading to a sustainable home. Although this presentation was short and presented only a few of what the Valley truly has to offer, what the Valley sustainably produces will forever be abundant due to its hardworking people, making the Valley's potential as immense as the outer space that the rockets launched at Boca Chica go to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. I'm not sure if you all heard what I just said. I believe I was muted. Thank you again for your wonderful presentation and your very inspiring closing remarks. We are going to move now to our last presentation, which is Sustainable Development Goal number 16 on peace, justice, and strong institutions. Please help me welcome Sankirti Pur, Seema Shain, Delaney Sanchez, and Andrea Riojas. And if you could please share their presentation for us, Davey, thank you.
Hello, my name is Delaney Sanchez, and today I will be presenting Goal 16, Peace, Justice, and Strong Institutions. Today, there is a need to end all forms of violence towards children. Here in the Rio Grande Valley, many nonprofits provide access to justice for every child. These public services range from justice and social welfare to education and security. The UTRGV's efforts are essential to moving towards the achievement of sustainable development. First up, we have Buckner. They provide consistent home environments for children who are in the state's custody and who may have been abused or abandoned. Next up, we have court-appointed special advocates for children. They want to ensure that every child in the county who needs a child advocate has one. Next up, we have the Children's Advocacy Center. This center is dedicated to improving the lives and safety of child abuse victims in Hidalgo and Starr counties. Next up, we have the Family Crisis Center. This center is a domestic violence and rape crisis center that provides services to victims and their families. Next up, we have Texas Adult Protective Services. Here, victims of abuse or neglect may get short-term help with shelter, home repairs, food, transportation, managing money, medical care, and mental health services. Next up, we have MUA. They provide shelter and support services to victims of domestic violence and survivors of sexual assault. Here we have Planned Parenthood Texas Votes. They work to keep health centers open by working on elections and policy in regards to abortion rights, women's rights, access to LGBTQ+ inclusive and competent healthcare, and immigrant rights. Next up, we have ACLU of Texas. They work in the courts, the legislature, and through public education to protect civil rights and individual liberty. Next up, we have Texas Civil Rights Project. They use legal advocacy to empower Texas communities and create policy change. Next up, Sankrith will share more nonprofits.
Thank you, Delaney. Next, we have Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid. TRLA provides free legal services to residents in 68 Southwest Texas counties and represents migrant and seasonal farm workers throughout the state and in 6 other southern states. TRLA also operates public defender programs that serve at least 10 Texas counties, representing low-income and indigent people accused of felonies, misdemeanors, and juvenile crimes. This is their location. La Unión del Pueblo Entero. What do they do? Founded by labor rights activists Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, LUPE builds stronger, healthier communities where colonial residents use the power of civic engagement for social change. LUPE's strength derives from their 8,000 plus members throughout the Rio Grande Valley. Next, we have Cameron County Children's Advocacy Center. What do? They are the movement made up of 71 local children's advocacy centers, serving children throughout Texas, local professionals investigating and prosecuting child abuse, and a committed board of directors, dedicated donors, volunteers, staff, and corporate and government partners. New Hope Children's Center. This shelter was established in McAllen, Texas in fall of 2014, when Upbring renovated and transformed an existing building into a home-like campus to help and support unaccompanied children. The children they serve at this faculty receive life-saving support, including food, clothing, shelter, case management, educational and clinical and medical care. BCFS, Health and Human Services. These people help at-risk young adults and foster youth transition into independent adulthood and self-sufficiency. BCFS provides a safe place for youth to access community resources. And A World for Children. A World for Children contracts with and is licensed by the state of Texas to provide foster to adopt services for abused and neglected children across the state. Next, I'll be passing it on to Andrea.
Thank you, Sanker. The Easter Seals is a program that helps individuals address life's challenges and achieve independence. Programs provided by the Easter Seals include early childhood intervention for infants and toddlers, pediatric rehabilitation, inclusive childcare, and home visiting programs. This is the Angels of Love nonprofit organization. The Angels of Love program provides services to abused women and children of the Rio Grande Valley in a safe and loving environment, and it gives them the tools necessary to restore each woman and child to a healthy self-worth and safe family setting. This is the Children's Haven International. The Children's Haven International provides children with physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual needs that need to be met so that the children may be able to become responsible Christian citizens for their country. This is the Catholic Charities nonprofit organization. The Catholic Charities organization is an immigration program that helps immigrants qualify for permanent residence status in the U.S. by completing all the necessary forms. The facilitating procedures are both available in the U.S. and abroad. Catholic Charities helps provide assistance in completing the N-400s for citizenship, violence against women at U visas, violence against undocumented individuals, and religious visas. The Catholic Charities organization is located in Brownsville, Texas. Now I will be passing it on to Sina.
Thank you, Andrea. I'd like to continue the list of locations, starting off with the Children's Bereavement Center, which is a grief counseling center for children overcoming the death of a loved one. Here are some photos as well as the address and the link to their website. There's also Apple Tree Therapy, which is a rehab center for pediatric patients. And they design therapeutic sessions that are entertaining for the children and more productive. Of course, some pictures. We also have the Blue Bonnet Counseling Center, which is dedicated to the diagnosis and treatment of a variety of mental health conditions. And they offer counseling services for South Texas families and ensure that they receive help to improve their mental health. Some pictures. We have the South Texas Counseling Center, which offers counseling for adults, teens, and children. We have the the organization Avance, which aims to break the cycle of intergenerational poverty by providing two-generation education and support for families with young children. One of their most popular programs is called Head Start, and it's designed to help children develop socially, emotionally, and physically, and contribute to a child's readiness for school and beyond. We also have the Professional Counseling Services, who also provide mental health services to individuals, families, and the community. And here we have some photos of their office. And last but not least, we have our police stations, all of them that are in the RGV. And their mission statement to prevent crime and enhance the quality of life throughout their community, and always treating people with dignity, fairness, and respect. Here are the locations and phone numbers of each police station, as well as the links, which you can just click on the name to view. That concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you all. I am so sorry. I lost connection, so I hope it did not interrupt you seeing the last presentation. Thank you to Team 16 for your wonderful work. And with that is the conclusion of all our presentations. So we want to thank everyone, and we want to allow everyone to provide either questions or comments. So at this time, we have actually run out of time, gone over time with some of the interruptions we have had. So we will do this rather quickly. So I did want to ask the students if there might be a student who would like to share their experience with us in working on this project, as some of our audience considers what kind of questions they might like to ask. So if anyone would like to share any comments or questions, please raise your hand so that Davy can unmute you to be able to speak. Thank you. So to the students, is there anyone who would like to share their involvement on this project? It would be nice to hear from you if you're here with us today, what you have learned as you've gone through this project and how you feel about the project.
I can say something, ma'am.
Yes, please.
It's Mike. Personally, I'm working on this project. I found it very eye-opening to see all the things that the Valley is doing and could be doing potentially moving forward. And it just makes me realize the growth we've achieved as a city and how far more we're going to achieve, especially with students and people looking into things such as sustainability for a better future. So thank you for the opportunity. And I just want to say everybody's research and project was very great. So thank you guys as well.
Thank you so much, Mike. We really appreciate you sharing. If we don't have any questions or any other comments, on behalf of Ms. Peña and myself, we want to congratulate all the students for their amazing work. I'd like to pass the screen on to Dr. Graywall, Dr. Parwinder Graywall, who is our special guest today and has been following your work since last semester. And I say this to the students because he is an advocate of and very big supporter of the Mathematical and Science Academy. So I want to thank him for being with us this afternoon, and he's going to be providing us our closing remarks. Thank you, Dr. Graywall, for being with us. Welcome.
Thank you, Marinella, for this amazing project. I'm so impressed with these students. They take so many courses. They are very young. They are, should be in high school someplace, but they are in the university taking classes with university students. And on the top of that, they find time to engage in such meaningful projects. As Marinella had just mentioned, I love this program, Math and Science Academy, and sustainability is a program that's very close to my heart as well. Since you have combined the two, it really excites me as the change that I would see and expect in all the students. That would be their personal transformation by engaging in such type of project. Obviously, they did excellent discovery work because I learned some of the programs that are new that they discovered. Once they go on to make this big map here as to what resources are available, who is doing what, it's going to be an impressive collection. So congratulations on the discovery work. And then the presentation. Very well done, very organized, Thank you for that. And also congratulations for delivering the material that you collected. And moving forward, we expect that you will be going through this self-transformation and kind of adopting some of these sustainability activities that you can perform on your own. Work with your family, work with your friends to kind of actively take it upon yourself to become champions of sustainability. You are going to be our future leaders, obviously, because you have excellent background in the STEM fields. And now you also have exposure to sustainability goals that our world aspires to address. And you are now part of that mission at the world level. So I'm really hopeful that you will continue on that path, working with your own family, changing your practices and your family's practices. As they say, think globally, act locally. You are acting locally by bringing the resources to the limelight and up front so that people know and where to find them. But also, as you will work on your own at your personal level, that will also transform the world and the community you live in. With that, congratulations again. And I do want to end this with saying thank you to the MSA program leadership, that is Dr. Smetter and Melissa Pena, for engaging these students with the Office of Sustainability, and Marianella Franklin for her untiring work. No matter what project comes her way, she is there, never say no, and helping everyone, every student learn. And she is the figurehead for sustainability at UTRGV. And I'm always amazed with how much energy and how much passion she presents this particular goal for UTRGV. So with that, you have a great, great weekend. Thank you for engaging in such a project, and continue to do so in your own ways into the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Graywall, for your inspiring words, your very heartfelt words, your very kind words for all of us. We really appreciate your insight, your leadership, and everything that you do to support us all in providing all this for our students and providing these tools of success for our students. And thank you to all the students, to Melissa, because they really worked hard, as you say, and we're really proud of all the work that they have accomplished thus far. And I think they're going to accomplish even more very brilliant work as we move forward, and as we all get vaccinated and have the opportunity to go out into the Rio Grande Valley and actually bring back some of that information in the form of videos to add to the map, because we don't just want to create a map, we also want to create a resource for the entire region where they can connect with all this information. So we're really excited about this project. I know the students are very excited about hopefully getting out there in the coming months, next semester as they come back. Melissa, I don't know if you're with us, if you can share. I do know we have, I think, maybe a few students that are graduating next week or in the coming weeks, and what their goals will be as they move forward. Like you say, Dr. Graywall, hopefully continuing the path of sustainability. So thank you all so very much. This concludes our presentation today. And I want to ask everyone to please join us next semester to view the MSA Ambassadors for Sustainability's progress with this RGV Sustainable Development Mapping. So thank you all so very much. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and a great weekend. Stay safe And we hope to see you all again very soon. Thank you.
And the way is up.